if we keep the balance between the two forces. There are only two forces, but what's important is their balance. That's called the middle line, the golden mean. So the Torah explains how to live in that ideal state as much as possible. But we have to all the time fall out of balance because of these two forces of nature that are controlling us to the right or to the left. And then we feel ourselves very uncomfortable. And so the Torah teaches us how can we keep the balance everywhere and live in a good and nice way. But being in a good and nice form, it's not that I feel like being in a good and nice form, but that it is in favor of others for their benefit. Can you give an example of how the Torah explains how to be in balance? Love another as thyself being the great rule of the Torah. Klal, in Hebrew rule, which also means to include, includes all the different options, possibilities, everything there is. If in each and every state that is at your disposal, you mean to aim it for the benefit of others, by that you keep the Torah and keep yourself in the best possible state. What do I feel then in the best possible state? If you really keep it, immediately you feel that you belong to the upper system of forces, the operating system, and you already see the inner reality, the forces which are operating everyone. Suppose you look at Oren and me, and you see the forces that are operating in us, and what kind of balance or disbalance we're in, and how should you work in order to help us? That comes from love your fellow man, love another as thyself. You'll want to help us if you can in order to bring us to balance. And when balanced, each of us feels himself in the best possible way. There's an inner completeness in the state of balance. Right. So what does it mean, la'alot la Torah, to be summoned to read the Torah, or literally meaning to ascend to the Torah? When you start receiving the upper force now, by your work, by the work that you did, that you formed yourself, you exerted, you studied the Torah, you learned how to balance these two forces, how to control your nature by them. And then, after you've finished this work of self-research and how to form and balance myself, now you ascend to the Torah, meaning you reach the middle line, the balance between all of your mental forces, and then you discover. That's called the reading of the Torah, that you discover, you reveal. Reading is revelation, that you reveal for yourself the new degree of the observance of reality, the sustenance of reality, and you in it. So ascending to the Torah, Aliyá Torah, it's an entire process. It's not just what you're telling us right now. It's not that on Shabbat someone summons you to read the Torah and he's standing reading it next to you, you stand next to him, say the blessings, and that's that. No. It's an entire life process here, what you're telling us about, to find the right balance in order to reach the inner completion. And why do we do the Aliyá Torah at the age of 13, Bar Mitzvah? Because a person then becomes an adult, mature, that he is already capable of revealing the upper forces, and therefore it's called Bar Mitzvah. Bar meaning capable of. And then a person begins the process. A person now starts to use the Torah in order to grow. Till then, he's considered a child. You can't demand anything of him. From that moment on, he has to start attaining the Torah. And in your eyes, what does it mean to use the Torah in order to grow? Grow into what? Into love thy neighbor as thyself, love another as thyself, that being the great rule of the Torah. It says that till the age of 13, a person has no good inclination, only the evil inclination. He does not attain the good inclination yet in order to balance the evil inclination, and therefore he's still like a child, bursting out, and you have to forgive him. He's still under a greater influence of the evil. Afterwards, we're also not that great, because we don't use these two forces. And also, the 13 years of the Bar Mitzvah, it doesn't necessarily mean our chronological 13 years in this material world, but it only points at a person's mental, inner ability to reach balance. We had great, tremendous Kabbalists who have attained the Torah long before they turned 13. And there were also those that, and there were and are such, which are 99% of humanity, of the people of Israel, that even don't reach the Bar Mitzvah. I want to understand the process of the Aliyá Torah, because you talked about the evil force that exists, and every time you as if get a good force from some place that a bit balances the evil force, and again you take some more good force and more good force until there is an ideal balance. Right. What is this balance? Where do I bring this good force from? How does it balance the evil force? What happens inside a person? In short, how do we realize the Torah? How does it happen in practice? Yeah, in practice. That's called to realize the Torah. For this, we have to be in a special society. This is why the Torah is always revealed during a social crisis where we need the balance, the good connection between people, and then the Torah is always revealed. That's where we mostly need it.